Hello，大家好，我是 Sebastian 的监管证监员，我今天要跟大家分享的是一封信，我写给 winepak Corporations 深圳的哈。winepak Corporation 就是那个最近很红啊，讲到很红那个 Timah Whisky 的那个公司，它就是它的那个工厂啊，它是专门出产这个 Timah brand 的这个 whisky。最近 BAS 就是马来西亚这其中马来西亚其中一个政党现在的政党它是伊斯兰教的一个党现在最近一直在攻击这个公司，尤其是这个 Timah brand 这个 whisky，Timah whisky 是一种酒来的，大概有含了48%的酒。然后今天我写信的内容，我总共写了五张信大家看一下我写了5张信给他。这个是复印版写了5张信，那我就在这边读给大家听，我写给他的内容是什么。然后第一点我当然是我的 title 是 Congratulations to your company for successfully attain many international accolades from the Timah brand whisky 就是恭喜他在在全世界拿有很多奖Now, okay, I would like to congratulate Winepak Corporation for the outstanding achievements and would like to express my moral support for your company to continue distilling quality whiskey. 然后他在这2年里面拿了什么奖呢？Medal for the best Malaysia whiskey in international whiskey competitions and silver medal in the international wine and spirit competitions 2021，就是今年。And silver medal in the international spirit challenge in UK and in 2020, which is last year, and silver medal in San Francisco World Spirits Competition in 2020. So within these 2 years, this company got 4 international accolades. So and the first point that I give after that, subsequent the first paragraph, Timah brand whiskey attained many international level accolades, is applaudable. Although I'm not a regular drinker and I can hardly understand the art of distillations and enjoyment of it, but no doubt recognize the contribution it brings toward Malaysia economy and reputations. I understand it has caught many unwelcome comments and attacks that is baseless and irrelevant from public officials and politicians within government coalitions. Now, the politician and government coalitions here means the minister in the minister in the prime minister department refer to Idris Ahmad and of course the PAS is the Islamic party in Malaysia. Now my second paragraph start with semper necessitas probandi incumbit qui agit. This is in Latin. I'm not sure whether I pronounced correctly or not. Now in English it means the necessity of proof always lies with the person who lays charges. So if PAS and those ministers want to accuse this company or this brand for damaging Malaysia image, they must have proof. So it is very apparent to me that none of the antagonist accuser is able to prove their accusers and to substantiate what necessary in their attempt to destroy Timah from continuing its branding and manufacturing business. Therefore, their action is malicious in nature and may carry seditious element to stir unnecessary racial tension in favor of their personal political positions. And I put a reference, the news, the hyperlink there. And my third paragraph, on 19th October 2021, past Deputy President Tuan Ibrahim Tuan Man called Timah a desperate attack against PAS. On 18th of October 2021, PAS Ulama Council wants 4 actions to be taken by government, including shutting down Timah manufacturing. So the PAS this political party is asking government to shut down the Timah manufacturing, the whiskey manufacturing. And my third paragraph, point A, as proclaimed by our company that Timah brand whiskey has got nothing to do with any other things except tin mining during British Malaya era. Now, Brain derivations predate past. It can't attack political party if it come before it. Just like Christians unable to say Islam teaching is not accurate since it was founded 700 years before Islam. Practically, it does not know its existence. Now, what it means here is that now this Timah brand, now this Timah brand actually derived from the story actually derived from an industrializations, a tin mining from British era. The British came to Malaysia for tin mining and to colonize Malaysia and for tin mining. So this whiskey actually is to commemorate the tin mining business in Malaysia. It has got nothing to do with past because past only founded in 1960 plus. But this tin mining activities back, I think more than 100 years ago. It was in 18 plus, I think 1880 plus. So the brand is derived from the British during the British Malaya, where the British come for mining. So my second point, Timah, which is tin. Timah is a Malay language for tin. Tin is a chemical element, a silvery metal with symbol 50SN. Now this is a scientific symbol for tin, 50SN. And it has nothing to do with Islam or past, especially Timah here refer to what during British era, British Malaya era. So it is actually a chemical element. It's actually a metal used for industrialization. I think they use for make cane and all that, the tin. So it has nothing to do with Islam. And my third point is the word Timah does not appear in Islam Quran. Thus, it is neither associated with Islam, God, nor His word. Now, because the word Timah or tin, it does not appear in Quran. I personally searched in the Quran tin for this translated the English translated versions of Quran, and I cannot find a word tin in this in the Quran. And Timah also not in the Quran. And obviously Fatima and Timah is a totally different things. What appear in the bottle is definitely not Fatima. It's a person called Captain Speedy. I'll talk about it later. So in contrast, past abbreviation means PAS. The PAS actually short for Party Islam Sir Malaysia. It's violating Act 335 of Society Act 1966, Clause 7, bracket 3, bracket D, bracket I. The reasons are as enumerated below. Now this is actually a counter-attack of past, because past is actually misusing the word Islam. Now, Islam Sir Malaysia is a Malay word. It means Islam of whole Malaysia. Now, but the organization is only a political party in democracy system where it is subject to people's vote, and neither it represent Islam nor it represent the whole Malaysia. Now the word Islam Sir Malaysia means Islam of the whole Malaysia. So this political party that accused this Timah whiskey they themselves have a problem, because Islam Sir Malaysia, the meaning, the name of this past political party is problematic. It should not be recognized by the Register of Malaysia, which is the ROS. Now, under this Act 335, Society Act 1966, Clause 7, registrations and refusal to register. Under bracket 3, the registrar shall refuse to register a local society where item D, the name under which society is to be registered, bracket I, appear to the register to mislead or be calculated to mislead member of the public as the true character or purpose of the society, or nearly resemble the name of such other society as likely deceive the members of the public or members of either society. So if a political party name itself Islam for Malaysia means Islam for the whole Malaysia, the Islam of whole Malaysia, it is mis it is mis it is misleading the member of public. Therefore, it is violating the Act 335 Clause 7 bracket 3 bracket D bracket I. Now, naming the party, my another point, naming a political party Islam is deceitful and confusing the public that lead people think that the party is has divinity and that what the party do and say is related to Allah. Allah is a god for the Islam. Now, my third point is member of a political party, including Deputy President Idris Ahmad, is not God's member, is not God messenger or prophet akin to Muhammad, as well as not Khalifa of Islam. Thus, the party name PAS is prima facie undermining the sanctity of Islam. My fourth point, PAS is not perfect, at least not as perfect as what depicted by Islam. Stated under PAS administration is always running on deficit. So state under PAS administrations is like Kelantan and Terengganu. It always run on deficit, always lose money. Now, does it mean Islam is very poor in financial management? So this is my questions. There's always no lack of corruption cases as well as other criminal records carried by past leaders and members. Does it mean Allah allowed them to corrupt? Obviously, PAS is undermining and abusing the religion of Islam. My fifth point, PAS is challenging the role of Malaysian monarchy because Yang di-Pertuan Agong and Sultan of the respective state are head of religion, not PAS. In Malaysia, the head of religion is the Yang di-Pertuan Agong and the Sultan. It's not any political party, not even JAKIM. Now, JAKIM is delegated by the government as a Islamic institutions to in charge of Islamic affairs, but PAS is a political party. Now, my sixth point, PAS is not an Islamic institution established to educate about the Islam scholarly, but it is a political party that has personal interests for power grabbing. Therefore, it shall not confusing the public with the word Sir Malaysia, as its relevance is determined by people votes and its capacities to provide technical matter relating to Islam is dubious. Because PAS do not have whether PAS have the capacity to provide technical or scholarly matters relating to Islam is dubious. Dubious means is doubtful. And my seventh point, Malaysia is a federation of Sabah, which is North Borneo, Sarawak, Singapore, and Malaya, of which Sabah and Sarawak has no state religion. Now this is under MA 63. As per Malaysia Agreement 1963, which is MA 63, hence using the word Islam to Malaysia may jeopardize MA 63, and thus the formation of Malaysia. No doubt Islam is the religion of the federations, but political party shall not assert Islam aggressively by psychological means to the entire country, especially Sabah and Sarawak, where PAS does not represent. PAS is disregarding the sensitivity of people in Sabah and Sarawak and non-Muslim in Malaya. Now, you can find in MA 63 the 20 point. MA 63 is a Malaysia Agreement 1963. It is what defines Malaysia. Now, if Malaysia disrespect this 20 point, it will jeopardize the federations of Malaysia. Now, my 8th point, by using the word Islam to Malaysia, by also violating Federal Constitution's Article 11, freedom of religions, because Malaysia as a country is made of all Malaysians within the sovereignty. Thus, Malaysia is not only for Muslim per se, but a multicultural nation with Islam as a religion of the federations. The word Sir, S-E, in Malay, imply one or unity, in Malay language, which imply whole Malaysia is Islam. This is unacceptable. It means not acceptable, as it is attacking the sentiments and being insensitive to non-Muslim in Malaysia. Malaysia citizens that are Christians, Buddhists, Hindu, Sikh, Confucians, and other religion believers is effectively being excluded by the lack of uniformity to Islam in this regard. Therefore, PAS is inferring exclusion of non-Muslim citizens from Malaysia, thus an act of treason. Now, my fourth point. Furthermore, Minister in the Prime Minister Department Religious Affairs, Idris Ahmad, agree with Penang Mufti. Now, Mufti is a religion's leader. Datuk Sri Wan Salim Wan Muhammad Noor call for the Federation government to order a name change of the whiskey. They say now they ask the federal government to change the name, to force the company winepak, which is Winepak Corporations, to change the whiskey name from Timah to something else. Okay, so what they say in the newspaper, in the news, or in the media is, we don't object to alcohol being consumed by non-Muslim, but we are requesting the government to order the manufacturer to immediately change its brand as well as picture on the bottle to a name and picture that does not trigger the sensitivity of Muslim in the country. Now, this is what said by the Penang Mufti Datuk Sri Salim Wan Muhammad Noor. And then the Ministry of Prime Minister Department's Idris Ahmad said, we have always been consistent in our stand against alcohol because it is clear that it is haram according to Quran. Now to respond this, what I wrote in my letter is, I think both of them are very irresponsible, immature, incompetent, and imbecile in relative to the positions they are holding. My point A democratic country shall embrace diversity and freedom of religion and expressions and respect the history of Malaya. Calling the whiskey manufacturer to shut down is literally preclude non-Muslim from enjoying full potential, that is, limit the market size, variety, and our choice. There are many royal clients and future prospect customers of Timah whiskey from local and abroad. Shut it down or rebrand it will severely compromise customer freedom of choice and directly infringe constitution right of winepak under Article 8. Now, what Article 8 in Malaysia Constitution state is, now, the Malaysia Article 8 shall be no discrimination against citizens on the ground of religion, race, descent, place of birth, or gender in any law or in any appointment to any office or employment under a public authority, or in administration of any law relating to the acquisitions, holding, or dispositions of property, or the establishing or carrying on any trades, business, professions, vocations, or employment. So very clear under Article 8, the government cannot mingle, cannot preclude or cannot interfere with people's business or influence negatively on people's trade based on religions, race, descent, place of birth, gender, and so on and so forth. So government shall not preclude others from conducting illegal business. In fact, it shall diligently assist local business to thrive, whether it is Islamic or not. Any violating of constitution law shall be prosecuted. These include cabinet minister, as constitution is the highest hierarchy of the law of the land. So we must recognize that constitution, the federal constitution of Malaysia, is the highest hierarchy law of the land. That means in this country. So whether you are a cabinet minister or you are prime minister, even you are a king, you are a monarch in this country, you cannot challenge the constitution. You may change the constitutions when you get two-thirds vote from the parliament. So another point, Idris Shah shall distinguish between his religion teachings and a national policy. How he wanted to regulate himself within his personal atmosphere according to his religion is entirely up to him. But Islam is not for everyone in Malaysia. Even Sharia law is only limited to family matters although even though this is doing a disfavor to the country judiciary system. Matter related to what is haram, whether Muslim observe the halal diet or not within the religion, is not within the religion's family law and have no legal effect in the country. The same for LGBT matters where Sharia law have no jurisdictions on the matter. Now what I'm trying to convey here is that Idris Ahmad as a minister, he have his freedom to how he want to observe Islam at his own atmosphere, within his family, within his own personal atmosphere. But he shall not confuse between his Islamic teachings and the rest of the country, especially on the national policy. Because Sharia law only effective in Malaysia for family matters and matters relating to whether it's conducting a business or a person diet, whether it's halal, whether a Muslim want to observe the halal food, whether halal or haram, is entirely up to the Muslim. So what I'm trying to say here is if the Muslim in Malaysia, they want to eat halal food, or if he want to eat haram food which is not halal, it's entirely up to him. There is no law in Malaysia restricting any persons from eating non-halal food. Because Sharia is only limited to family, that means marriage, and to the extent of charitable matters and these inheritance matters is under the Sharia, which is under the Sharia court. But how you want to practice Islam is beyond the Sharia law, is beyond the legal framework of the Sharia court and the Sharia law that is effective in Malaysia. So you cannot, you know what you believe. Just like if I'm a Christian, I cannot impose Christian's law on a Muslim or on a Buddhist or even to a Christian. I can remind my Christian friend to go to church on Sunday or whatever, but I cannot impose a law. It cannot be a national law, and it is not a national law. So another point is both Idris Ahmad and Dato Sri Salim have to understand where the government get the money to pay their salary, fuel government operations and fund public projects. The money is derived from taxpayers such as winepak. Tax collecting from business collectively is using to make government works. How a country perform or even to survive is collectively depending on business performance in the country, especially during COVID epidemic, where economy around the world is affected and in a precarious conditions. The whiskey manufacturing is neither illegal nor causing any economic damage to the country. Contrarily, Timah is making the country proud for winning many international medals. Now what I'm trying to say here is both these public officials, these very high-ranking public officials, where they get the money from, they get the salary from taxpayer. Taxpayer is the one that is funding the country public projects, funding the country's administrations, and including paying their salary. And they should not sabotage legal businesses that does not infringe any law, does not break any law, and in fact they are winning a lot of medals on international level. It is making the country proud. My another point is Captain Tristram Charles Sawyer's Speedy has got nothing to do with the religion of Islam. Now, why I'm talking about this Captain Speedy is because the past people, Dato Sri Salim condemned the whiskey bottles, put Captain Speedy as a logo. Now, this Captain Speedy has got nothing to do with Islam. His contribution to Malaya is enormous. In 1871, Speedy sailed to the Strait settlement in Malaya and becomes superintendent of police on the island of Penang. He resigned in 1873 to raise and command a body of Indian troops to restore order in Larut, a mining district in the Malayan state of Perak. For the chief ministry, or they call it Menteri Nya Ibrahim. In 1874, Speedy was appointed assistant British resident of Larut and established the name Malaysia Older Towns Taiping, meaning heavenly peace. He remained there until 1877. And also they comment on the Jewish crab, the Jewish head. Now Jewish cat or Judean hat, or Latin called Peleus cornutus, is worn by Jewish in the medieval Europe era and some Islamic country. It is not exclusive for Islam. Islam is a religion originated from Arab culture, and even Arab fashion is not exclusive for Muslim, because before Islam arrived, Arab have their own religions, as well as belief in Judaism and Christianity. What more, Jewish cap belong to Jewish culture, not Malay, not exclusively for Islam. So when they comment, when these past people, the past PAS, the Islamic political member, which is this Salim, Dato Sri Salim, comment on the cap, the Jewish cap. Now this Jewish cap is not exclusively for the Islam. The Jewish also wear the cap. In fact, it was founded way earlier before Islam. Before even Islam even founded, the Jewish people already wear the cap. Now Islam claimed to be successor of Judaism, and Christianity is one that copied Jewish religion and culture, not otherwise. Jewish predate Islam by thousands of years, unless they have time machine. You see, Jewish exists thousands of years before Islam arrived, and they already wear the cap, the Jewish cap, for thousands of years before Islam even exists. So whether this Captain Speedy wore the cap or not, it has got nothing to do with Islam. He could be a Jewish. And I believe your company have been manufactured since 2003. A legitimate company. If Muslim in Malaysia have problem with it now, does it mean Muslim is okay with it in the past? Because it has been in Malaysia manufacturing whiskey for more than 18 years. And why the Muslim in Malaysia only now they make noise? So you may need to find out whether it is because Allah have latest update on Quran. I'm not sure whether there's any update on Quran that trigger the Muslim in Malaysia making noise. Because for so many years, 18 years, there's no noise. Nobody had problem. Okay? And politicians have no true competency, will only use race and religion like additive to hypnotize people without any positive value to economy and society. They are akin to drug pusher who preying on weak-minded people, especially the subservient Muslim in Malaysia, for their own selfish goal, and disregard the damage it causes to others and the country. So, and my last point is, you may freely use the content in this letter to defend against transgressor on Timah in relate to the Islamic claims, and may even complain to ROS about past illegal adopting Islam's Malaysia name to deceive public as counterattack. Should you intend to move out of Malaysia entirely, then it is Malaysia loss. Myself do not want to have any business in Malaysia, thus not in position to ask you to stay. I hope Timah brand continues serving quality spirit on the bar tables around the world. Now I sincerely hope winepak corporations continuing producing Timah brand in Malaysia. Now what I wrote in the letters, there's no copyright. Anybody can use it, whether it's winepak or winepak corporations or anybody in this matter. For this matter, you can use it, not a problem. Of course, I'm not against PAS purposely, but PAS should look at itself first. they are violating the law by using the word Islam se-Malaysia, because se in the Bahasa Malaysia, in the Malay language, means whole. Seluruh, serupa means the uniformity, conformity. It means the whole Malaysia have to be Islam. The whole Malaysia of the Islam of whole Malaysia. That is what it means by Islam se-Malaysia. And this is violating the rules, the Act 335, which is the RS rule. So I can say, for example, I give you another example. I cannot establish a political party called Malaysia, Kerajaan Malaysia. I cannot say Party Kerajaan Malaysia. I cannot put a name Kerajaan Malaysia, because that will confuse a member of public. This is a deceitful name, because deceitful means you are trying to cheat people, to believe something which is not. So the same for this PAS. PAS actually stand for Party Islam se-Malaysia. It means the party of Malaysia, the whole Malaysia, which is Islam, which is Islamic. So which is wrong, because Malaysia consists of a lot of people, a multicultural, and Islam is 65%, consists of 65% of the population. The rest of the populations are non-Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, Hindus, and blah blah blah. So each and every member of public, each and every citizen in Malaysia belong to Malaysia. They are member of Malaysia.